there are two new modules that are opened, Module 4 and Module 5. Module 4 really is a collection of different apps that exist inside of App Inventor. Inside of each one, there is an AIA and some brainstorming you can do about that project. I'm going to move some of these assignments around. But you have the link to a video and a tutorial about the project. So it goes through and tells you all the different components, all the different things that you can do in it. And there's one for each one of the lessons. So here's the one about the stock market. Gives you all the different stuff that you need to do in it. This connects to something called API data, so you can pull information from other websites. So that's what the stock market one does. Space aliens is kind of self-explanatory. The GPS sensor, well, GPS determines your location and what you can do with that. Lesson 4 is a photo booth. And here's a link to the tutorial about a photo booth. It's about using your camera, setting it up as a photo booth. Pretty straightforward. Specifically dealing with sharing with other apps on your phones. That's the real skill that that's focusing on. SMS is text messaging. So this app will talk to you about how to use text messaging in your apps. Multiple screens. Right now, all of your projects have a single screen. This project uses more than one screen, so if you have some interest in using more than one screen in your app, you would look at this app. Math Blaster. This is a full-on game that involves calculations and a whole bunch of other stuff. Again, you can just download the AIA, take a look at it. Map It. This is a GPS app. Displays locations. So if you're interested in talking about using geocaching or doing anything with your location on your phone, you can use this. Pizza Party, Fusion Tables. This is a way of collaborating with multiple people through the same app. So you could all be sharing information through what's called a fusion table. So for example, in this case, they're all planning a pizza party. So they're all sending in how many pizzas they want for the party or invitations or something. But you could design an app just as easily that keeps track of somebody's life in comparison to other people. So in other words, the number of points that they have in terms of life points or something. Kind of creating a massive open online game type thing where it keeps track of where you are in relation to everybody else. You could do something like that. Definitely something big to take on if you were doing something like that. A shave and share, a quiz program, pretty self-explanatory what that is. A save and share canvas. So that deals with saving images and sharing them with other people. A side-scrolling game. We've dealt with games. We dealt with the side-scrolling in Scratch, but we didn't deal with side-scrolling in App Inventor. So if you have some type of desire to do side-scrolling, that would be in here. So, and then here is a bunch of links to all the tutorials, including some other things that are not listed. So what I want you to do first in this module is explore each one of these And to facilitate that, in each one of these, there is a brainstorm that you could do, where you just kind of type your response to how you think you could use that. If you don't think you have any interest in using it at all, just put that in the response. So for each of these lessons, there is a brainstorm for you to complete. You have to do every brainstorm. And if you don't want to do anything with it, if you just want to say, I'm not interested in using this, this at least lets me know that you've looked at it. So you're going to do each one of these brainstorms. When you're all done, there's a summative brainstorm where you're going to look at the brainstorms. There's only 4 of them. Okay? I think there's 4 of them. Maybe there's 5 of them. You're going to look at the brainstorms that are listed in here, and you're going to kind of figure out what you want to do for your project. This is where you're going to figure out what that project's going to look like, just in general. Not real specific about it's got to have this window and it's got to do this. Just the general idea for what your project is going to be. So you're going to go through this module and do that. So it's different than the way we've done other modules. The other modules we've done, we did one lesson at a time. This is kind of like everything at once. And you're going to look through each one. You're going to decide what you want to do. Maybe some you spend a lot of time looking at. Other ones you don't spend much time looking at because maybe you're not interested in GPS at all. So you just kind of say that, I'm not interested in GPS. And that's fine. The goal of this module is to expose you to a lot of different types of things that these apps can do. I can't teach everybody everything. But what I'm allowing you to do now is pick what you're interested in learning. We have enough time to do that for you to focus in on what you're interested in learning about. And later on, if you want to come back and learn more, you can always learn more. So once you've completed Module 4, did your summative brainstorm, which is a summative assignment, you're going to move on to Module 5, which is the actual final app. And then finally, you have your unit project. That's where you're going to submit that final project. So Module 5 really just has 2 different assignments in it, kind of give me an idea that you're actually working on the module project. The first one is your official proposal. What is your project going to be? Be specific more than you were in a brainstorm. What's it going to look like? What's it going to do? The second part of it is you need to submit screenshots of your design window. You don't have to give me the code here. This is just screenshots of your design window, so I know you've designed something. I know what it's going to look like, because we have to do the design window before we do the code. So that's an intermediate step before you finally submit the project. The final project gets submitted here. There are 2 documents that you can look at. There's the rubric, and then there's the programming rubric. Now, let me explain these 2 rubrics. The first rubric is for me, for this course. How are you going to get your grade in this course? The second rubric is for the computer science fair that is held in the spring. If you have an interest in taking this app to the computer science fair and competing, and then eventually maybe going on the states and competing at the state level, you have to follow this second rubric. You have to make sure you have all the components that exist in this second rubric here under programming rubric. If you have an interest in doing that, you have to come speak to me, and I will sign you up. We'll take your proposal, sign that up for the computer science fair. Any questions?